Well, it's that time of the week where we have to check in on the Summer House crew, check in on what's going on, recap an episode, and chit chat about Scamanda. What's the name of it?
It's not
West.
Scamanda. Scamanda's too lowbrow, I guess. I don't know. There is no official name. Westgate, I really liked, but
Oh, I like
that didn't take
Westgate.
off. But yeah, I don't know. There is no real official name, and I'm okay with that. Everybody
A
knows what we're
mess.
talking about. No.
Okay.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be
Oh
a
man,
home
it's
run.
8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a...
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody, for whoever wants to listen. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Sherlock Goots. What's up, dude?
Dude, after this episode, I think we'd all dislike West anyway. So at least that makes me feel better.
I thought the same thing.
I really thought that we were going to have to go the whole season watching this like fake charm and wondering where we would be mentally with West, with Amanda. I mean, Amanda wouldn't even be on our radar. We'd just be looking at her and Kyle falling apart. But with West, I mean, we talked about it. It hits so much more because we all had to do some real deep thinking for ourselves. Like, God, we were really rooting for this guy just a couple episodes ago. And then all the current events happen and we start looking at it differently. After this episode, we'd still dislike him. Not as much as we do now, but we would absolutely still dislike him after this episode. So that does actually make me feel a little bit better.
I agree. And I thought literally the same exact thing once everything started going down. I was like, oh, you fucked yourself over anyway. So everything else is, I mean, it's much worse, obviously, but agreed. I think we would have had a change in opinion after this episode. The bigger takeaway from this episode is they've been fucking, in my opinion, at this juncture. And for a while, I think, because Amanda's reactions, knowing what we know, holy shit, insane behavior. Like, I would have questioned it if I didn't know they hooked up. I'd be like, why is she getting so activated with this whole thing? What the hell's going on? I think if you watch Kyle too, throughout the last, or maybe the whole summer, it's almost like he knows something's going on, but he hasn't put the pieces together, or maybe he doesn't want to put the pieces together. I'm not entirely sure. But like in this episode, when they get into all their shit at the end, watch him and watch his face, watch his movements. I think his brain is like trying to tell him, but he's like pushing it away. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, but I think he knows.
Yeah, no, he absolutely knows. And we've dug into that, and there's plenty of Easter eggs to dig into. My favorite part about this is obviously the growing discourse with people still watching. Because all of us said, like, this season's pointless. We're just going to be digging for things that aren't really there. We were wrong. There is a lot there. And I love now, because we say it, you know, almost instantly, just because we're very much in tune with how this works. But production has absolutely re-edited these episodes.
Oh, yeah.
They have,
by the way, Jesse
1,000%.
Sullivan, number one guy on Bravo. What a man.
Carl's still number one. I can't quite put him at number one, but still, yes, the rise of Jesse Solomon is fantastic. He learned his mistake, it seems, and he has returned to season one in Jesse Solomon form, which is what we wanted to see in the first place. Didn't expect to get there this way, but you know what? Who cares? Whatever vehicle we have to take to get there is completely fine by me. But now everybody online is pointing out like, oh yeah, production absolutely re-edited. Like, of course they did. I mean, that's what they're doing. That's what they always do. We want them to. If they have more footage of West and Amanda doing weird shit, I think this episode would have looked relatively the same. I mean, it's just weird behavior across the board from Amanda, especially, and with West and the new girl whose name eludes me because I don't really give a shit about her. Yeah, all of those things, like, it still would have added up to a very similar episode, but I'm sure there are bits and pieces thrown in there, especially when it comes to Amanda and the things that she was saying. God, I can't wait to get into that. But as we typically do for our Summer House recaps, at least in this late stage of the game, we're going to do a little bit of discourse about what's going on currently. This week is not nearly as much as it has been in the last couple of weeks.
Pretty low key this week.
Aside from Amanda finally posting on her story last week, which was very interesting on Friday morning, not a whole lot has really popped off. And we'll pretty much just talk about that. And also We did get somewhat of a confirmation. There were some rumors floating around that they were going to do a weird separate reunion where they have people
They were going
kind
to
of
do the
closed
interview
off.
thing or whatever the
They're
fuck.
not.
Yeah,
They're not. Andy disproved that last night. As soon as it popped up, I knew it was bullshit. But you know what happens? Something like this, something of this magnitude, everybody online has an opinion. They just kind of float shit out there and it starts to run with it. But they're not doing that. It's going to be a very formal reunion, which is what we want. We want everybody on stage, much like Scandival was. But they're not going to do. They were supposed to do the reunion this week. They're not doing it until apparently like May 1st because somebody did some sleuthing on Jesse Solomon's tour and what's going on. And he said, I'm going to start traveling outside of the tri-state area after the reunion. So he's not actually leaving. And we know very well that he's going to be in Philadelphia next week. That's still well within the area. He's traveling to, I think, Charleston or something, and then somewhere else, like on the West Coast or whatever, after all of that. So that's when his tour starts to take off. So leave it to Jesse Solomon's tour to figure out when they're filming the reunion. Andy once again put up questions for the reunion last night. I guess he didn't get what he wanted, or he was hoping that people were going to have more questions. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. But really all we have to dig into is Amanda's behavior on social media. By now, everybody has seen her story. We reposted it. Everybody who doesn't live under a rock has reposted it or at least read it. Essentially, she's saying, hey guys, I know what's going on. I'm not going to apologize for any of my behaviors. Here's a picture of my dog. Can you guys leave me alone so I can have a normal life again? Normal life apparently is going on a bar crawl with West in West Village that night.
To a bar that is frequented by 25 to 32-year-olds who are prime summer watching age, summer house watching age. So here's what that was.
We're all in summer watch.
We're all in summer watch. Maybe that's what it should be called, summer watch. Here's what happened. She wanted to go out. So she put out a post alluding to mental health to tell people, I'm going to be out today. Don't fuck with me because it's bad for my mental health. She was trying to get ahead of it because she knew she was going to go bop around. But here's the weird thing. And here's the hubris of both of them and the arrogance and the ignorance. They are going about it like, and I knew they were going to do this. We called this 2 weeks ago. They're going to go at it like, look, we're in love and we don't care. Like they're going to lean so heavy on that this is real. We weren't expecting it, but we're here now. To the point where I think that it's emboldened them. They have this weird false confidence going on right now where they're bopping to bars. They're acting like they didn't do anything wrong. It's really pretty gross, honestly, because here's the thing. If they were going to take the route of, which they're going to, of we're so in love, we didn't expect this, and we can't turn off our hearts or some stupid bullshit, then at the very least, take accountability for all the shit you burned down along the way. At least we have yet to see an apology to Ciara. And I guarantee you they have talked to themselves behind closed doors and convinced each other we don't owe her an apology. We didn't try to do this, just happened. We don't owe anybody an apology for living our lives. We're in love. What do you want from us? They're now shifting their mentality to a victim mentality where they are the ones being attacked. They're the ones that are under the microscope and it's not fair. And like, it's so annoying that this is what they're going to do. It's even more annoying that we're getting absolutely no remorse. We're getting no accountability, no apologies, no anything. And yet we're going to see them continue to go out and about like nothing's wrong. That just tells me that they never cared. They don't give a shit. Amanda never cared about her friendship with Ciara. I'm starting to go back and look at her entire tenure on this show and everything that she's done and just assume that this has always been her. She's been really good at hiding it and putting on a front, but she's always been this person. She wants everyone in the house to want to fuck her. She wants to be the coolest one in the house. She wants to be like put up on a pedestal. And I never noticed it until all this shit popped off. If you go back and watch with this in your brain, it paints a very different picture of her time on this show.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And a lot of people are doing that, especially if you go on TikTok now. People are bringing up things, which, by the way, I would be remiss if I did not mention Luke is running for Congress. That fucking rocks. I love that. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
He's got a whole campaign video and everything. I would advise you to go take a look at that later when we finish up here. But good for him. I love that he's going. Dude, I said later. You're doing it right now.
I'm just looking up one thing.
Anyway, no, yeah, I fully agree. And every little clip that comes out, I mean, obviously Amanda had the mask, she had the sheet in front of her of Kyle, the marriage, whatever you want to look at, where you're not really focused on her bad behaviors because Kyle's bad behaviors are so much more polarizing that we
Correct.
always kind of just felt bad. But you know, we've had discussions before on this show where you kind of do feel bad to a certain point where it's like, okay, I'm tired of you complaining about this guy. Just divorce. Like, enough.
Yeah.
We've had enough of this shit. So, yeah, we were not looking at those things specifically, but obviously something like this comes up. And now we're going to be going through everything with a fine tooth comb. So, of course, that's going to happen. This episode in particular, I think, gave you an idea of what West's mindset is during all of this, too, because I do think that both are correlated very heavily.
Yep.
The way he's thinking in this episode with Ciara is of course playing the when am I allowed to move on? When am I not allowed to live my life? That's
Insane.
what he's doing now with the Amanda thing. He has not posted anything. Everything he's posted has been, you know, about like sponsorships or his podcast or the fact that he was going to Phoenix and whatever it might have been. He's just acting like nothing's happening. And
Right.
that's absolutely what he's doing. And he's looking at it from the point of view of, well, I'm going to live my life. I don't really care what you guys think.
He
I
doesn't
have
care.
my own feelings, and this is where I am. So, of course, he's going to do that. Amanda, I guess, had to address it in one way, but not like this. Again, if
No.
you take the approach, like, yeah, you're still going to get hate online because that's how people live. You're going to get hate online regardless, but you should still, if you're going to post, say at the very least, I feel so bad and I am so sorry for my actions and the people I hurt. I don't care if you single out Ciara. I don't care if you single out Kyle, whatever
If
it
you're
is.
a real
You have
good, if you're actually a real person, you would single out Ciara and Kyle, but that's just me.
correct. But at the very least, just say you're sorry about something and say that you understand what you did and your actions have consequences. Anything along those lines. No, it's just a plea for let me live my life so I can go bar crawling. Like, no, what are we
No.
doing here? I don't really understand that at all. So she actually did way more hurt by releasing that than she tried to help herself, which is just fucking hilarious at the end of the day. But yeah, that's really all that happened. I mean, that's really all that's been happening. It's been pretty quiet. And Mia was on Watch What Happens Live, which we can interject as we kind of go through this episode. She pretty much said, yeah, they both reached out to me. I haven't texted her back. I've got
She's
nothing to say to
great,
them.
by the way.
I've
She
got
was
nothing to
great on Watch
do.
What Happens Live.
Yeah. And also the rewatch is helpful because I didn't realize Mia was a realtor a couple years ago when I think Carl
Oh.
and Lindsay were looking for apartments. Or yeah, I think it was Carl and Lindsay that were looking for apartments. Mia was their
Oh,
realtor. So she knows she's been around, and they even asked about her friendship with Ciara. I don't even know if that was on Watch What Happens Live or somewhere else, but she's been friends with Ciara for years. So this didn't just pop up. It's not like she's a new friend or anything. So it does show you, not that it really matters because she has their back so well. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on. So we can dip into this episode because I'm sure we're gonna find some segues to get into some other shit.
yeah, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you're watching this whole thing. But we pick up where we left off last week with Ben and Amanda chatting about the bizarre thing that Amanda said at the party. And the only thing stranger than what she said at the party is her confessional. This was
Yeah.
fucking banana land. I didn't know what the hell was going on. She says to Ben, her apology is, I wasn't thinking at all. I was chatting the way I do. I could have thought about my words better. I was drinking. Okay, that's not really a good apology, but whatever. Let's go
No.
to this fucking confessional. Somehow, she's once again the victim in this whole thing. She goes on this weird tangent about Sabrina being an issue. You said to her that her boyfriend wants to have sex with you, so she's upset. This girl's going to come in here and she doesn't understand what's going on, come out of nowhere, blah, 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 going after Sabrina. Then somehow it turns on to Ben. I understand if this dude wanted to fuck you in Italy and that made you feel some type of way, and this is like you trying to get back because he made you wildly uncomfortable. But if I had to guess, just based on recent behavior, you were probably flirting back in Italy at the very least. And now you're going to take this stance of these two are so fucking ridiculous. How dare they bring this up to me? And how dare Ben do this? And how dare Sabrina do that? Bro, any normal person or friend, like you and Ben are still friends, you would not say that to his girlfriend unless you want to be that girl in the house that everybody wants. And now they drew a boundary, they drew a line. Ben's mad at you and you feel slighted. I don't know if you feel slighted because this is all coming up again, or if you feel slighted because you're not the object of damn it, what's the word? Admiration? I don't know. You're not getting the attention from Ben that you wanted. Is that part of this? But for her to go to this confessional was the strangest shit I've ever seen. Like, I didn't understand how this is the way that she went, even given everything we know.
Yeah, none of it really makes any sense. She could have gone about this literally any other way, and it would have made sense. You could downplay it. You could say, I made a joke. It was off color. I apologize. I realized that she wasn't in on the joke because now we're going back to what Bailey said at that whole dinner where she alluded to the fact that Ben wants to fuck Amanda. And you could say it's an inside joke for the house. Like, whatever. Just say you misspoke, say you were drunk. But going to your confessional and just undoing everything right away is wild behavior, especially given where you are right now. And knowing, again, assuming these confessionals are taking place a little bit later, there's a lot going on. You should just be fucking head down and quiet. And I'm not saying that, like, yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, we have a lot of indications that her and West are something during the summer, but you're still in a very precarious position. So the way you go to your confessional and you talk like that is insanity to me. Like, there's just so many different ways that you could go about this, and you somehow found the one way to go about it where everyone's looking at you like, what the fuck is that? And again, regardless of what's going on currently, we would still watch that and be like, Amanda, what the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
Like, what are you saying? What is all of this? I don't understand any of it. So that was just wild to see. And again, with Ben, like, is he going about it the right way? Like, I did think he was being a little dramatic on the ride up, talking about it and blah, 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 whatever. But now that Amanda's spoken, it's like, nah, actually, Ben's completely warranted. He is utterly warranted in all of his feelings on this.
It was just so confusing to me because if you break it down from objective standpoint, right? When they were in Italy, he wasn't dating Sabrina then. It's still messed up that he was trying to make a move on a married woman. Absolutely. And if you had a different attitude towards him the entire season, being upset about that, I would understand a little bit more. You haven't. You've been jokey with him. You've been making jokes about skinny dipping and all of that stuff. So when he comes to you and says, you made my girlfriend feel uncomfortable, it's not like he was doing all this behind Sabrina's back. So as a friend, you would think you would just make it go away. I'm so sorry. I misspoke. I'll go clear this whole thing up. It tells me that you're seeking attention when you do this. You want Ben to want you, and you don't like that he drew this boundary. That's what I genuinely think. I think that she's upset and she's lashing out at Sabrina catching strays because you said it to Sabrina. You're the problem. That was fucking weird. It's a weird thing to say. And if you were a friend to Ben, you would have cleared this thing up because you don't have an issue with what happened in Italy, clearly.
No.
Because you've been fucking joking around with him the whole time, you weirdo.
Yeah, it was especially weird too, because if you just look at her actions and don't look at the things that she was saying in either instance, whether it was talking to Ben or talking to Sabrina later, you could say you did everything that you were supposed to do. Like, you apologized to Ben and you apologized to Sabrina at the first chance. But then when you actually look at what she was saying in both instances and add in the confessional, it's very bizarre behavior. It is very weird fucking behavior.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. It's just like every time you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, like that was crazy. That was crazy. I forgot what she says to Sabrina. That's fucking nuts. We'll get there. But anyway, Ciara and Amanda start talking, and Ciara knows that Amanda had said this to Sabrina because they went and got coffee last week and they're actually friends now. Now Amanda's going with the, I don't recall saying that. I would love to have a convo with her because the whole conversation made me feel icky. Why are you and your feelings even in the convert? What do you mean felt icky? Because you're weird and that was an icky thing to say? Like, what is icky?
It's just her own actions. That's what made you feel icky. Nothing else should have made you feel icky. And again, we were talking about Sabrina last week. Like, all right, tone it down. You clearly watched the show. Now I'm like, nope, actually, you know what? Maybe Sabrina was right about all these things. Maybe she was right to say to Amanda, I really need to know what's going on in your marriage. I need to know all the ins and outs. Because maybe she has some weird speculation about what's going on with Amanda, and she wants to figure out what's going on with her and Kyle. And again, we still have that theory that Amanda and Kyle were actually separated at this point. Maybe there were more rumors, and Sabrina came in not realizing it was all hush hush and was like, whoa, I need to know what the hell's going on with your separated husband. Oh, I can't say that. Oh, fuck.
Maybe.
okay, I need to know what's going on here. Like I'm looking at it so many different ways now.
You have to, because of how weird Amanda was this episode.
Yeah.
It raises so many red flags and concerns. I'm fully team Sabrina now. She's a little quirky, she's a little weird.
Yeah.
She seems nice, and I liked how she handled herself throughout this
She's got
episode.
way more personality than her boyfriend. I'll give her that.
She's got enough personality for the both of them, which, that might be Ben's only chance to stay on the show. But yeah, I'm team Sabrina, hand up, like 100%. This was fucking bizarre, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But Jesse, this was funny actually. I don't think it was intentional, but I could also see him doing this, like, oops, and he drops a Magnum condom on the floor, which was
Yeah.
very funny. I'm not gonna do the funny joke between West and Ciara because it's really funny, dude. I we liked West, right? Now he just pisses me off. His little quirky, like weird shit, or like how he says things, like Tishy and stuff. I hate
Yeah.
it now. Now it's totally
Yeah.
different. And now everything Jesse does, I'm like, this guy's awesome. What a great dude.
Well, it's funny too because my first thought was, wait, those are West's pants. Did a condom just fall out of West's pants? You got to be fucking kidding me with this. But Jesse, of course, takes ownership right away. So, regardless if it was West or not, that was my first thought. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. He puts on your pants and there's a condom in there. What are we doing? You were gonna bang somebody at the driving range? Is that what we're doing here? That's crazy to me. But yeah, God, Jesse, what a guy. What a guy. Yeah.
Just
Somebody
top
actually
tier.
commented. I saw somebody DM'd us on Instagram and said, I'm a recent listener. I need to go back and figure out why Jesse is number 2 on the guy list for you guys because I just can't figure it out. But it's really funny and I need to know more. Like, you actually didn't miss anything. If you just started listening to us, that's when it happens. This happened last week.
Mm-hmm. And rightfully so, because and I'm 95% sure that they re-edited to put some of those confessionals back in. I'm at least 1 or 2 of them. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it does seem like, and I know we're just like glazing him now, but it does seem like the Ciara thing checked him a little bit. If he actually did, because he is not just the counterpart to West right now. That's not the only reason. He's making a lot of sense. He's being very emotionally intelligent with things that we heard this stuff, like you said, 2 years ago. That was the Jesse that we all fell in love with. Like, this guy's fucking great. Then we watched that disaster last year, and then he was singing all off season, and we didn't like him. And then he started to sing, which made it worse. Maybe he had to hit that sophomore slump a little bit and then
Maybe
right the ship, or maybe the Ciara thing kind of snapped him out of it. And he's like, oh, lock in, dude. I don't know, but something happened.
Something happened along the way, and I'm not going to complain about it.
Not at all. But everyone goes out. I do think it's very, very funny that, like Jesse keeps pointing out, Sabrina and Ben got back together, but it's not like they dated for years before. They dated for
No.
a few months, broke up because she said, I love you. And he freaked out. And now he's not going out. They're talking all day long. They've been inseparable. They're together every single day. And so he wants to be a good boy. So he stays in, which I appreciate. Like, I'm not shitting on him for that. Like, nice job.
It makes sense.
Totally.
It makes total sense. I mean, your girlfriend is coming the next day, presumably in the morning. Do you want to be hungover and tired from the night before? Or do you want to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed? Like, that was a no-brainer for me. And it's not like this house is a stranger to people staying home randomly just because they want to get a night of sleep. And this is the first night that he's actually stayed in, which actually kind of reminded me of Imroll, because every night that he was up at Summer House last year, he went out every single time. And the one night that he stayed in, everybody made a huge deal about it. This is a very different situation. But I actually had my sneaky suspicion when we were talking about Ben and Sabrina last week that we were going to get into were they dating the whole time? And then there was going to be an issue where he was flirting with Dara. He made out, granted it was spin the bottle, but he made out with Bailey. Is there an issue here? What's going on? No, I don't think we're going that way, because Sabrina admitted later in the episode that they have had a crazy 10 days, that they have just kind of fallen into this whole thing. So I'm not even going to question it. I'm going to let it go. I've got too many questions for other people. I'm going to leave them alone.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. I don't know if I believe it, but I don't really care either way.
I don't care.
But they get back home, and West and Ciara get awful cozy, and you get Jesse's first confessional of emotional brilliance. he's still attracted to her, but the guy's not ready for a relationship. It would be good for him to have a boundary. I was like, Jesse Solomon, you
Wow.
should be a life coach.
You know what's funny too is I wonder that was my first instances of like, how would I feel about this if it wasn't going on right now? Would I be looking at Jesse like, all right, Jesse, like you got completely exiled from the whole Ciara situation. Are you being petty now because West and Ciara seem cute again? Would we still be sitting here like, oh, West and
I don't
Ciara, it
know.
looks like things are heating up? I know you definitely fucking would be. You
Probably.
sycophant. Yeah. But for Jesse, I do wonder for that confessional. I'm like, ah, man, would I be looking at this like, Jesse, come on, dude. You can't be that petty. You lost. West is going to be with Ciara. They're going to try and make completely crumble and fall. But you're just a little upset because they did check you and now you bounced off and now you're watching your best friend go back to the girl that you have feelings for. That's going to be interesting for you. I wonder. I look, I obviously don't look at that way right now, but I don't know. I have no idea where I would land on that.
It's hard to say, honestly, because the hindsight is so intense now
Yeah.
that I can't really honestly say which way I would go with that. But
Well, you know what's funny is like it's almost shades of Lala in VPR when we were like, yeah, Lala, you were right about everything that was going on, but shut up. Like, I
yeah,
don't want to hear from you anymore. But with Jesse, I'm like, God damn, Jesse, you are right on the fucking nose, man. Good job. I'm coming to your show next week.
we actually probably will now, which is funny,
Yeah,
but
I know. I think we should.
we definitely should. We should reach out. But we get a quick scene with Mia and Ciara. This was sad as shit. And I felt so bad for Mia, but I can't give her enough credit for how she came into this season. Like, she's a fan favorite and not just as a newbie. Like, she's just great. She's a great cast member, great friend, great person. And she's talking about a dream she had, and both of her parents were in it. And she's asking her mom to come for the weekend. And obviously, she woke up and was super duper sad. But it makes her kind of look at everything. I think she's looking at her life right now because she talks about Scott and that whole situation, because she just wants somebody there. And her parents being in that dream reminds her that she doesn't have a big support system. And her only real support system is Scott. And Scott's bopping around the country left and right. And yeah, we have a contract now, but what does that really mean? So I think she's questioning, where do I go from here?
Yeah, this is all leading up to, as we see for scenes from next week, that Scott comes to the summer house. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's organically growing where we're figuring out where Mia's mindset is. This dream kind of just catapulted her into basically what she was going to feel eventually. But I
Yeah.
do think that things are really starting to heat up with all of that. So I think we're going to see a very real conversation because I don't even know if they're still together. I don't know if I assume they are, but I don't know if they are. I think we're going to see a very real conversation between the two of them where she's just going to tell him all of her feelings and we're going to be able to watch that on camera, which, you know, how I feel about that type of situation. But, yeah, we're going to see it regardless. But I do love it because this is a good storyline for somebody. This is a very real storyline for Mia, who's, you know, it's her first season on the show. She doesn't really know what she's doing. So she's just showing us everything that's going on in her life and sharing her feelings, which is what she should be doing.
Yes, I agree. She's very open and shares a lot. And she's just very, I don't know, she seems so genuine, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But West and Jesse are talking real quick about the Ben and Sabrina situation. And that's where Jesse breaks down like what's currently happening. And when he did that, I was kind of like, oh, that's a lot really quick. But hey, if they're still together, you know, whatever. You know, they've known each other for 4 months. They broke up. Then they got coffee. They're at Lindsay's housewarming and they haven't separated since.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, are they still together? I think they are, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So they just caught on hot and heavy, and it is what it
Yeah,
is.
honestly, like we could take it for face value. Ben said he needed to kind of get out there and then realize that none of these other girls were adding up to the one girl that scared him when she said "I love you,"
Sure.
and that's why he went back to it. So I don't know. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take his word for truth right now
Yeah,
because
same.
I don't really have the mental capacity to battle that one.
No, nor do we, you know, have a need to question it really. It's
No,
not really that
yeah,
important. But
it's not very. Yeah, it's not gonna make or break the season.
no, no, something else broke the season. But we're setting up for a Vegas pool party, which I love this vibe. This one's pretty funny actually. And while they're setting up, Amanda sits down with Bailey and we get a Carl update, which It's a bummer it was Amanda doing it, but I'm glad we get a Carl update because Bailey's talking about the golf lesson she got from him when they were at the driving range. And we barely golfed because he was helping me the whole time. I just gravitate towards him. And I got fanny flutters. She's feeling it. She's picking up the vibes and she wants to move this thing along. But
I love it.
I do too. But I'm just concerned because you have two people, both of them. Not that everyone, no one's going to hurt anybody. Yeah. I'm concerned that they're going to miss the opportunity because they're both like protecting themselves too much. You guys got to take a risk on each other.
See, I think that's where the good thing of the house being very involved in other people's life and romantic life is going to come into play. Usually that's a terrible thing. Usually it leads to only destructive forces. But for this, I do think when you have two people that are not going to just, dump it all out and go after it, you're going to have other people playing around where, obviously Amanda might be in charge of this one, but she might go to Carl and say, hey, look, don't lose this one with Bailey. Bailey seems to like you. You guys should go out a little bit more often. I don't care if it's Amanda or somebody else. They need that. They're going to need that because they are not breaking down walls quick enough. They are taking a very long time. And obviously the conversation that they have after this is very real, but it doesn't move the needle in terms of romance. It moves the needle in terms of, hey, I'm willing to talk to you about what I'm actually feeling and connection. That's great. But they are building very slowly. And it's very funny to watch somebody like Ben and Sabrina who got back together and they have not left each other's side for an entire week. They are fully on married. Carl and Bailey are moving at a absolute snail's pace. Now, before we do talk about that, though, did you catch, and there's a whole thing about this now, at least in my brain, that West sat on Amanda?
Oh, yeah.
Right before they started setting up. Sat on her. Now, if you remember correctly,
I do.
A couple
That's
weeks
his way of showing somebody he likes him.
It's exactly what Ciara had said, like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, when West is sitting on you, that means that he's showing some admiration. She's flirting. That means he's showing interest in you. He sat on Amanda. No one even batted an eye. No one said a thing. West is allowed to do that? That's bizarre. That doesn't make any sense. And by the way, Amanda jokingly, oh, what did you just fart on me? Get out of here, you. Oh, nope. Not at all.
Whoa. Yeah, it's a very strange situation because, personally, if another dude sat on my wife, I would take an issue with that. That's not okay. So that's weird to begin with. I do think they edited to show more of his handsy stuff this episode. He's all over people. He was giving Bailey like a neck rub and a face massage. He's touching Amanda at any juncture. Any chance he has to make physical contact, he's making physical contact. And I think I'm very curious, actually, if you asked the cast during the season, do you think something could be going on there? What their intuitions would be. I do think there's at least a couple people in the house that are kind of side-eyeing it at the very least, and then telling themselves, no way, that'd be too crazy. There's no way. But there has to be some moments of clarity throughout this season that people have where they're like, are they? No. Are they?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you even just said it yourself. The West is very handsy with everybody. So maybe that's almost like a smoke screen. I mean, we've been pointing out anytime that we see a potential smoke screen somewhere or another, we're always going to point it out. But that could be the ultimate smoke screen. Yeah, I'm being handsy with Amanda, but who am I not being handsy with? I'm being handsy with everybody. Look at me.
I think, oh man, I think we're right. I think that is a thing. I think he probably poured it on a little bit thicker to draw attention away from the fact that he was touching Amanda so much. Yeah, I'm taking it to the bank. That's official. But Sabrina arrives and immediately snuggles up to Ciara. As we now know, they went and got coffee together, so they're building up a friendship. Ciara seems to really, really like her because she's so quirky and different from her. So, hey, if Ciara gives her the nod, I will give her the nod as well.
Good judge of character for the most part, at least with girls.
Just not with dudes.
She hasn't been a good judge of character with dudes, unfortunately.
Yeah, but we won't hold that against her.
No.
But Amanda takes this opportunity to go and talk to Sabrina. I'm just assuming, I'm so sorry, I was drinking, didn't mean anything by it. That would be the normal thing to do. That would be the nice thing to do. But no, I feel so bad for catching you off guard. That was not my info to share. What? So you're confirming that he wants to have sex with you? Why do you need this? Why do you need Sabrina to know that her man wanted to boink you when they weren't even together? Why do we have to get this information across?
I I tried to think that maybe it was like some twisted "I'm a girl's girl" type of bullshit where,
No, she's
I've got
proven
my
a million times she's
reservations
not a
about.
girl's girl.
No, I know, but like it was it from like an angle of I've got my reservations about Ben and how he acts, and now he's with you, and this is all moving so fast, and I don't know what to make of it, but I want to help you out and letting you know subtly, like, hey, he's in love with me. And by the way, he's been doing X, Y, and Z while he's been at the summer house. I that's not your information to share, by the way. That's not your information to share. The other shit, you just don't have to share it. I
Correct.
don't care what it is. That's opinion. That's biased. That's whatever you want to call it. That's not
Subjective.
fact. Yeah, that's not some fact that you're throwing around where like I had to tell him no in Italy because he tried to make out with me or he tried to kiss me in the pool. If you, that would be your information to share, but again, why would you want to share that?
I don't
Everything
know.
else is very subjective, like you said. Everything else is very much yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some weird feelings here and there, but like when we're really looking at it this whole season, he's not overly all over Amanda. He's not doing anything that's like bizarre and showing that he's in love with Amanda. We have questions about Italy, but it's so far in the summer house, we don't really have a whole lot of questions. She just wants that. She wants
Yes.
the eyes on her. She wants people to think, wow, Amanda's this prize, and everybody's got their eyes. And it's not even like a Kyle's a lucky guy. It's more just like icky and gross, and I don't fucking
Yes.
care for it.
I feel icky. Amanda, you shouldn't feel icky. I mean,
Mhm.
you should feel icky for what you're doing to Ciara, but you shouldn't feel icky because you said some weird shit to Ben's girlfriend. And again, and I know I've said it a bunch of times, but if you were upset about what had transpired in Italy, you would have acted differently towards Ben all season. You didn't do that. Instead, you flirted with Ben all season. And no, it hasn't been to the point of like raising eyebrows, like, are those two fucking? It was enough to be like that. You tone it down, Ben,
Yeah.
like she's married, and enough to be like, Amanda, you're married, but nothing to allude to their having sex or doing anything like that. And again, Sabrina wasn't in the picture when you were in
Mhm.
Italy, to my knowledge. So you're not being a girl's girl. And it's not a girl's girl thing to say what he's been up to this summer. He wasn't with Sabrina. So that's irrelevant. All you're doing is trying to drum up shit because you feel slighted for some bizarre
Yeah.
fucking reason. It's weird. It's
I don't
icky.
know. Yeah, it's very bizarre.
Feels so bad for catching you off guard. Not my info to share. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah,
Oh, anyway.
You and Ben should have sat down and talked about how much he's in love with me.
Yeah, like, that's literally what she said. Ben should tell
Yeah.
you. Like,
Yep.
what? What the fuck? Anyway, Carl and Bailey, they're chit-chatting. I'm getting excited. Like, hell yeah. And she's talking about how she's struggling to tell him how she feels. So she wants to have that conversation. Amanda did give good advice earlier in saying Carl loves communication. Communicate. He'll love that. That's true, even though Amanda said it. But
Mhm.
he starts going into how he's feeling. And obviously, he's super stressed out about this whole Kyle situation. I think there's more to it as well. I think, his pride is involved where he feels like he can't step up and tell Kyle how he feels. And he goes into this whole thing about how his grandfather was super alpha and he just gets intimidated by dominating presence. Like that's kind of a thing. And I love the fact that he's able to open up about that. I love that he's not afraid to say that out loud. I think Carl's so vulnerable in the best way. And this scene should show you guys sobriety looks and sounds pretty good. It's
Mhm.
pretty good. But as he's talking about this whole thing, it's where we get the line of he was looking at Kyle's drink when he was talking to him the other night. He had a glass of rosé and he's like, if I could have a bottle of rosé and do a line, I could talk to him. What happens when all of these emotions start going? Right? So he feels a certain way about the Kyle situation. Emotions get high, and you immediately default back to how you dealt with that. So it's like relearning how to handle situations, how to handle conflict, how to handle emotions. When we're all actively drinking and using, we don't really feel feelings. It's a very bizarre feeling. I remember when I started feeling again in rehab, it was pretty fucking nuts, but you don't feel anything because you're used to just using a substance. So him trying to tackle this whole thing, being open about it, telling Bailey about it, and try to navigate it however he can. I thought this was a really fucking cool scene. I feel really bad for Carl, but I thought this was a really cool scene.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool scene for a number of reasons. Obviously, he feels close enough, and he's already said this as much. Like, yeah, I've been able to share all of these feelings about Kyle with everybody else in the house.
Mhm.
Now you're adding Bailey into the mix, which has a different component to it, obviously, the romance angle. But him being that open about not only how he feels about Kyle and also saying, I have a really hard time and it's just Kyle. Everybody else I can have this conversation with. Everybody else I can sit down and really like fully have it out and tell them how I'm feeling. But with Kyle, I've got this weird block that I can't quite pass over. And it does bring me back to, if I was able to drink and if I was able to do drugs, I'd be able to do this in a heartbeat. So he's thinking like, you can show how deep he's thinking on all of this.
Mhm.
Like, where did it start? When was I first able to not do this with Kyle? When was I first able to at least identify that within myself that I needed to rely on drinking, rely on drugs in order to have a conversation with Kyle? And what's the root issue? So that just tells me that's what he's doing. So he's actually reflecting, which is good. And that's what you want to see from somebody like Carl. That's what I want to see from pretty much everybody. But when Carl says it, it just hits differently. So this
Yeah.
was a really cool scene because it showed you and it gave you a lot of insight into what he's thinking about this when it comes to Kyle, because it's such a big issue that he wants to get over. I mean, he still loves Kyle. He still wants to be his best friend. He wants Kyle to be there as much as he's going to be there. And all of those things go into it. But it shows you really what he's doing. And he's doing all of the work, the appropriate work to get into the real issues, to try to squash that and to try to overcome that.
Yeah, and another big part of this whole thing is because of what Kyle did for him, he feels like he can't say certain things,
Right.
which is a really difficult hurdle to get over. Like in so many ways, Carl says, Kyle saved my life. Like he was the first one there. He's been my rock, all of that, which is a very difficult thing to navigate because you do feel like you owe people. I do
Mm-hmm.
too, and to a certain extent, yeah, but that's showing gratitude,
Right.
being thankful. Those things show somebody, but it's not like you have an IOU now,
Yeah.
where you're like indebted to somebody to a certain extent. But that's a really hard thing to kind of get past. I still feel that way with certain people. So I totally understand where he's coming from. And that's what makes this so tough. It's like this double-edged sword of,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, totally get it. And yeah, he did do a lot for you, but you won't be able to move forward in your own personal life and your own journey if you don't do this. This is not just for you and Kyle. This is a big moment for Carl and his sobriety and moving
Yeah.
forward with it. So it's a lot of layers, man. And I think the only way to navigate that successfully is to be open about it. And he is. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. Now, I hated this scene probably more than the obvious icky scenes. And you get Amanda, Ciara, and Mia. And now Amanda is a hurt puppy dog. Everyone hates me. Nobody likes me. The fact that she said this line to Ciara with a straight face is astounding because I know you and West are at the very least emotionally involved. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot more given this episode, but at the very least, you guys are emotionally involved. To say to Ciara, I don't like that I made someone feel like that I hurt somebody's feelings. You're sitting next to Ciara when you say this, doing what you're currently doing with West.
Yep.
So I don't believe you at all. I think all you want to do is throw a pity party, have people pick you up, have people pat you on the back and say, Amanda, you're so great. Amanda, you're the best. I honestly think all the stuff she's done, where not with West, but just in general, like the gradual pity parties that we've had throughout years, I think she loves the feeling of people telling her how great she is, because that's what happens. She feels like shit. She pouts about it and like walks around with her head down. I genuinely think that she did all of that because she just loves the feeling of people telling her how great she is, because she literally does this in so many seasons where she's walking around head down pouting about some situation, and Ciara every single time Ciara comes up and tells her how amazing she is. You're the best. You're a catch. You're a
Mm-hmm.
prize. Kyle's lucky to have you. I think she thrives on this shit. I think that also ties into she wants to be wanted by all of the dudes in the house. I think it's this all encompassing thing of she wants to be wanted by everybody.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back just very recently and look at her apology to Sabrina, that doesn't tell me somebody who feels bad. You feel
Correct.
bad for yourself and you put yourself in that position, but now you feel bad for yourself and you want other people to pick you up. I mean, you could go as far as to say the only reason she's still with Kyle is because she gets that pity party. I mean, every summer, Kyle does outlandish behavior and then she gets to go to other people and be like, wow, Amanda, he really puts you down. You know what? You're a real prize. And up until this summer, we haven't really gotten to the point of, hey, maybe you should get a divorce. Hey, maybe you guys should separate. Before it was always, Amanda, you are so great. You've got so much to offer. You need to go ahead and open a swimsuit line. You need to go ahead and chase your dreams because you're a great person to. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to get high and go to sleep tonight. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate all of those things that you're saying to me. That's what she does time in and time out. And again, now we've got a magnifying glass and we're looking at it very differently. In the past, it's like, yeah, Amanda, we're going to sit here and watch all this happen all season. And we're also going to lift you up. We're also going to comment on your pictures and tell you that you look great and that you should go after that swimsuit line because it's going to be a smash hit. We're going to support everything you do. That's what she wants. That's
Yep.
what she's wanted the whole time. And you're absolutely right. It ties into needing that feeling of, oh, these guys really want me. Oh, yeah. See, Kyle, you're not going to be the husband that I need you to be. But all these other guys want me, and that's enough for me. That's going to keep me going, and it's going to keep me going another summer where I'm just absolutely going to be miserable in this marriage. But everybody else telling me that I'm a great person, that's going to keep me coming back.
I mean, think about it. Think about, the flirting with other dudes in the house. Think
Yep.
about how she talks down to Kyle. And
Hmm.
again, all of this doesn't exonerate Kyle's behavior. I like to reiterate that every episode. Like he still was a really shitty husband, but it does give a lot more credence to the flirting in the house and how
Yeah.
she is with the other guys, stuff that we wouldn't have even batted an eye at before. Like again, because Dev is Dev and she catches everything. She was picking up on that. She's like, that's weird, like way early on, like last
Yeah.
maybe 2 years ago. But I just everything seems to tie into that central theme that I know that we're looking at everything with a microscope. I know that we have hindsight, all of those things. But I do think that this is a valid statement. I do think
Yeah.
that we're onto something here.
Yeah.
And I think a great example of this, it's such a one-off, like quick little thing, but she's in the kitchen with West. I hated this moment. And she punches Ben in the dick in his cutout. What are you mad at Ben about? What did Ben do? Like, you can't be mad about the Italy thing because you weren't mad about it all year. So what's going on? Why does he deserve to get punched in his cutout penis?
I don't know, man. All of her behaviors are just very bizarre. This episode was the absolute worst for her.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And then she says, I didn't see it when we went skinny dipping.
Hmm. No
What?
one asked. No one
No.
asked. We don't care. We don't want to
You
know.
want to see it? Like, that's the
Yeah,
implication. Like, I
maybe.
didn't get to see it there. Like, what the fuck's going on? Let's get to the party. And I love Bailey for this. Oh, by the way, we got a comment on YouTube, and somebody said that Bailey's way too thirsty and blah, blah, blah. For shame, whoever said that. That doesn't even make any
Hmm.
damn sense. She's awesome. But anyway,
Yeah,
Bailey.
Wi-Fi should be more expensive.
That's good. But Bailey wants to open up to Carl. But at the same time, after the conversation she had, she's like, look, I don't want to add to the fire right now. I'm just going to hang out with him. We'll talk about it sometime in the future, but he's going through a lot and I don't want to ruffle his feathers. I was like, wow. Yeah. They're so perfect for each other.
I know they really are.
But you get all the boys standing there minus Carl, and he's trying to figure out where he stands with Carl, him being Kyle. And he's like, I felt like he had some more to say, and he didn't really get it out. And I wanted to be able to say it, and blah, 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 that whole song and dance. And he gets filled in on what happened in the car. Like what, his feelings are hurt, this, that, the other thing. I I almost think it's worse that that happened. I think that's going to lead to the big blow up that we see between the two of them because he's been drinking, which we know he's not very agreeable when he's drinking. And I think he's going to do the thing that he does where he gets defensive, that he's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I did that, but I'm under a lot of stress at Loverboy. So I think this is actually, I know the boys are trying to help. I think this one hurt.
Yeah, I think this one hurt too. And if we're looking down the line when that pops off, yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to be a defensive situation. It could also just be Kyle responding to something that Carl says in a defensive way and saying, I know you have more to say to me. Come on over here, Carl, and tell me. And Carl probably says, I'm not going to talk to you while you're this drunk. And that probably sets him off. So, yeah, I agree. I think this was, and look, I don't even fault the boys for doing this because I think they all want the two of them to clear the air and they all want to put Carl in the best position to actually be able to say whatever he has to say to Kyle. So maybe this is the best way to do it. Like we talked about this earlier with Amanda talking to Bailey. Hey, he likes communication. Good. Maybe Bailey would have never gotten there. This is something similar where it's like, hey, man, we've all had this conversation with Carl. He can talk to us very easily about all of this. He's got to hang up with you. He can't quite get over it. You might actually have to broach the subject. Maybe it actually is helpful if we tell you what's going on with Carl a little bit so that at least you have that and you can go approach him in a better way. But again, like you said, it could easily backfire because now Kyle has that information. If he's drunk and he can't really control himself, it might come out in the wrong way.
Yeah, and I don't fault the boys for it. Like, I know they're just trying to help,
not at all.
and they know that Carl's struggling. It's like, I totally get it, but, it's the risk you take with Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I guess we should get to it, huh?
Yeah.
What everyone's listening for. So, everyone's sitting down on, like, the chairs out by the pool, and West sits down next to Ciara. I'm assuming, by the way, and I think this is important, I'm assuming he sat there to talk to Ciara.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, Ciara's over there, empty seat. Let me go flirt with her for a while. He sits down, and this random chick comes over and sits on his lap. Immediately, bad vibes. Worse vibes when he's looking the other way. He knows Ciara's sitting there. She's like, what's going on? He's like, I used to date that girl next to me. But who cares? And you're done. Even if what happened hadn't happened, you're fucking done, son. That's brutal. And I got a lot more to say, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brutal. And the way that it all shakes out is even worse. You could see this coming from a mile away. We were hoping it wasn't going to get to this point. We were hoping that he would still have that in the back of his head. Like, I can't fuck up. I can't do anything. This is different. You're going to try to paint this under the guise of, when am I allowed to move on? I mean, if Ciara was flirting with a girl or a guy in this house and I was there, like, I wouldn't care that much. I don't really know what's going to happen there. We both need to be able to move on and live our lives. One, you spent the entire summer flirting with her. Two, when you got really drunk, you were trying to touch her and get closer to her, indicating, hey, I still have a lot of feelings for you. You got upset when Jesse was flirting with her. You got upset when Jesse brought up the idea that the two of them might hook up. You don't get to do this now. You don't get to say any of these things.
Feelings about the whole thing.
Yeah, like you don't get to sit here and it's a lot different than having this conversation with other people when you're drunk and there's no girl involved. You still don't get to sit there and be like, hey, when am I allowed to live my life? When am I allowed to date another girl when I have somebody over at the house? You still don't even get to say that. What this is abhorrent. This is unbelievable that you're able to sit there. I don't give a fuck how blackout drunk you are in the middle of the day. I don't care. You clearly knew she was right there and you let it go. You could have immediately gotten up. The girl even gave you an out. Oh, yeah. Should we not be sitting like this right now? Nah, who cares? It's okay. And then everything starts to transpire. Then you're openly making out with this girl right next to Ciara after acknowledging that you know she's there. Everybody in the house is now looking at you like, holy fucking shit. Jesse Solomon is looking and like, well, West is going to do a West thing. This is what's going to happen. All of those things happen because of the shitty behavior that you're exemplifying right now and showing us right now that you're a piece of shit. That's all you're showing us. That's all this is.
Because when you really break the situation down, okay, his claim of, when am I allowed to live my life? When you draw a clear and distinct boundary with Ciara and you go into the house and say, hey, this isn't moving forward. Like, I really cared for you, but we need to move on with our life. You set a clear fucking boundary because all you've been doing all summer is trying to erase the boundaries, talking to people in the house about how much you miss her, how great your relationship was before. You're having moments with Ciara. You understand what's going on. You know you have to work back to that situation. And you know that you are. Don't play that dumb shit like, she flirts with me once every 48 hours is a lot, bud. Like, considering where you came from. But you can't sit there and make this claim of, when am I allowed to live my life and move on, when you've been leading Ciara on again this summer. Your behavior, your actions are why she's starting to have feelings again. And that's what you wanted. You wanted this, and you're out. Your excuse is, when am I allowed to live my life? When you do 50 million other things to clean up the mess that you just made again. Because the fact that you did all the stuff you did, and at the very least, even if you wanted to take that approach of when am I allowed to live my life, it would have been abhorrent if you went and made out with or made out with that other chick anywhere in the house. If you went to your room and did it, simply because, one, Ciara's not doing that to you, and she actually could, because you're the one in the doghouse, and she has more respect. Two, you have muddied the waters so much with the intention of trying to get back with Ciara, and then you're going to make out with a girl right next to her, even if you're just friends. You're spitting in her face. That is so fucking disrespectful. And the last cherry on top, and this is a big fucking cherry, you sat there and listened to Ciara, KJ, and Mia explain the situation of being a person of color on reality TV, about getting punked by you, West. And you literally on camera punk her again. And then you try to say it's not that big of a deal in a confessional when you're sober. What? He's just a piece of shit. Like, that, what it comes down to. He's a shitty person.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And obviously, Ciara walks away. West is just fucking blackout drunk. Like, that's what we're going to get into now. It's just him passed the fuck out on the chair, him walking around. Obviously, he's just parading around with this girl at this point. Doesn't fucking care. Clearly doesn't fucking care. Everybody else, you can tell, knows exactly what's going on. Everybody else knows exactly what's going to happen. There's just nothing to do. There's nothing to say. I mean, he's going to do what he's going to do. He deserves to just get absolutely punished, and he's not going to want to take it. And that's when the real West is going to come out, is when something like that happens. Correct. He's going to play low key. He's going to act like it's not that big of a deal. If you have other people like Sabrina, who's been there for a hot second, realizing that this is wrong, you're fucking wrong. Like, there's just no other way to look at it.
Correct. And I think you made a great point. And I think if you look at the trajectory of West over the last 3 years, what we get on camera, the West that we quote unquote like, that's not him. The guy that went on the press tour about Ciara, that's him. And he had to reel it in last year because he didn't want to be painted as the bad guy. He got comfortable, he got confident, and his real personality showed up again in a moment of conflict. That's when you get the real West. And if you go back and watch some of those moments throughout the seasons, you'll see if he's pressed, if somebody calls him out on something, his immediate response is pretty much, fuck you, I don't care, that's not true, I don't care. Like, that's how he operates. So we saw the real West. We just convinced ourselves, a lot of us convinced ourselves, that the real West was the funny, low-key, cool guy. Like, that's what we thought. Not at all. The real West is the West in the confessional after this, where he's saying it's not a big deal, leave me alone. The real West is sitting on the couch of the Vile Files and everybody else. That was him. We just didn't pick up on it because we didn't want to believe it, I guess. I don't know. But he's shown his true colors. And it's a very gross shade, this color that you're wearing. It's gross. Yeah.
Now, somebody else who's got a gross shade is Amanda. Because West is wandering around this party, finally parks down with this random girl whose name I don't care about. And everybody sees it, but Amanda really sees it. And she's got a problem with it. And not once does she say, I can't believe he's doing this to Ciara. It's just, why is he doing that? Who is that girl? I have to go investigate. I have to go figure this out. Let me go over to Ben and Sabrina, who are sitting close by, and really just lay into West's behavior. Again, not because of Ciara, just his behavior overall. I can't believe he's doing this. Who is this girl that he's snuggling up with? I need to go get closer to all of this. You know what? Actually, I can get even closer. Let me get in there. Do you guys mind if am I interrupting anything? Can I snuggle in here? Snuggle in here. Lady, you are married. Can you snuggle in fucking nowhere except for where your husband is or your friends? You don't snuggle in next to West ever. No, let me snuggle in here and figure out what's going on. So what's going on, guys? Who are you? By the way, my husband is great. He's a great DJ. He's the best. What the fuck is this?
She's trying to get under West's skin.
Yeah, that's exactly what she's trying to do. And throwing out that Kyle's a DJ and, oh, yeah, oh, you're going to Surf Lodge? Well, Kyle's Kyle's DJing at Common Ground. So, that's where we're going to end up later. That's where all of us, West is coming too. Me and West are going together actually while Kyle's DJing. You're snuggling in there. And then you have the balls to get up and walk away and say, hey, make sure you take a look at my ass while I'm walking away. Take a look at this. We saw you putting on that bathing suit, bikini, whatever the fuck earlier, saying, is my ass hanging out? Okay, yeah, good. It's hanging out. Usually I'd be all for it. Go for it. Do your thing. That's your body. Go live in it. Have a good time. Not now, because now we know why you want your ass to hang out. And it's not for Kyle. It's not for your friends. It's for fucking West. And it's for probably any other guy that might want to give you attention.
It's just unbelievable. And like West is all over. He's got his hand around the back of her neck. I was like, this is wild. This is absolutely fucking wild. And yeah, watch my butt as I walk away. What are you talking about? It was so weird. And you can tell all of this was pointed at West. There's no other way to look at it. And again, that goes back to current times. We're watching what's going on TV. How can you not have some shred of remorse? Like, this is inappropriate for so many fucking reasons. Just at least say sorry. Like, you should be, even if you guys think that this is divine intervention and your love is the truest thing in the universe, apologize first. Like, it's crazy, dude. It fucking
wild.
Crazy. But we do get a little quick conversation with Bailey and KJ just about the Dara situation. He doesn't want to make it too official too fast because he got burned. I get it. He got burned last year, dove in too fast, wears his heart in his sleeve. So he's kind of tiptoeing into it. Meanwhile, Dara's like, yeah, he's going to ask me like tomorrow. It's like, maybe not.
He's so fucking funny though. I mean, great. Like after the party where they get in and he's like snuggling into it, he's like, little spoon.
Yeah, that was funny shit. He's just himself, and I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
He's a great guy.
And also, when Sabrina went over to West, that was funny. When she crashes the party, I'm like, this is funny. And it's normal. She's not being weird. Yeah. Normal response.
Who are you?
Not, ooh, touch my neck and then watch my ass.
Sabrina, who has not been at the summer house at all, who just got there for the first time all summer about 6 hours ago, laying down like, who the fuck are you? What are we doing here? What's going on? Good. Great, Sabrina.
Yep. And then West passes out on the couch. And Amanda jumps to attention and is the first one to write dick on his forehead because Amanda's mad at him for smooching that rando. That's what's happening right now. And that's fucking weird as shit. And it's about to devolve so fast into one of the strangest situations I've ever seen on reality TV. And that's not being hyperbolic. Yeah. We legitimately watch her reaming West out in front of everybody. She shouldn't have anything invested in this. You can give him like that's fucking weird. You're a dick. How dare you with Ciara? Fine. But you're not saying that. You're going from the respect angle. And if you listen to the words that she uses, which I know you did, we live in a shared house. We deserve respect. We. What do you mean? This hasn't had nothing to do with you, lady.
She fought her own husband. Like, and look, Kyle's wrong. And Kyle realized that he was wrong very quickly afterwards when West started talking. But as soon as Kyle speaks up, she goes after Kyle. I'm like, whoa.
I've never seen her this activated before.
No. And look, obviously, hindsight, she's able to go to her confessional afterwards and be like, he used to be Ciara's biggest advocate. It's like, no. You realized that you got mad at West for your own reasons and then said, well, nobody's going to look at it that way. We're going to look at it and everybody's just going to assume that I'm going to bat for Ciara. So now I can say in my confessional a couple of weeks later, yeah, Kyle was her biggest advocate. Kyle cried for Ciara. Now he's doing this. Like, no. Because we watched how the rest of that played out. Kyle just felt bad for West. He felt bad that he was getting ganged up on and he wanted to hear him out, at least hear where his mind was. And when West says like, yeah, what am I supposed to do? Like I got to move on with my life. It's like, okay, let's hear him out. Once he gets into the particulars, she flirts with me like once every 48 hours. I feel like we can't. It's like, whoa, dude. And everybody sitting there is like, dude, that's what do you mean? Like, that's good. If
Yeah,
you
what a
want to be with
terrible
Ciara, like,
response.
yeah, what the fuck are we talking about here? So as West is going through all of his excuses, thinking that that's going to solidify his case for he should be able to move on and he shouldn't have to worry about Ciara anymore, you're actually giving everybody more evidence to the contrary. You're giving everybody more ammo to be like, no, dude, you're absolutely the fuck wrong. Like, no, wait, where was Ciara sitting? I don't know, man. She could have, and then he just stops fucking talking, and everybody knows where Ciara was, but not one of them was like, nah, she was right fucking next to him, right next to him. No, we're not doing that. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty fucked up, West.
And then we have to go to the confessional. And this is what I've been alluding to multiple times. He has the balls, the audacity, and the nerve to go to his fucking confessional and say, I've been trying so hard not to mess up, but she cuddled with Jesse. I've been trying to protect our relationship, whatever it is, but the fact that we haven't had one conversation about what's going on, she could be dating someone right now for all I know. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Dude.
no.
Insane. What do you mean? What do you mean she cuddled Jesse? You're not dating her. That has nothing to do with you. Is it a weird situation? Sure. Did she try to make you jealous? Yeah. Yeah. Did it work? Yeah. What do you, that's going to be your defense? Is she cuddled Jesse? That's not the same thing. You played tonsil hockey with some chick pretty much sitting on Ciara.
Pretty much on her.
Yeah. Like, you're a bad dude. And for you to try to spin it, and this is the real West. This is what I was talking about. He genuinely thinks that he has a defense. He doesn't care that he hurt people. He doesn't care that he is under a microscope right now. Like, none of it resonates because the real West comes out, and the real West does not have empathy or remorse. He's a fucking dick. He's self-serving. He's selfish as shit. And this is all the proof you need is this episode and then that confessional to nail it home.
Yeah. What a nightmare.
Yeah, dude. Well, the episode winds down with Ciara, Amanda, and Mia, and they're just like giggling together, and they go out and like sneak out onto the thing. But it pretty much sums up to Amanda blowing smoke up Ciara's ass, trying to make her feel better, despite having sex with the guy that Ciara's into. Yeah. And Ciara hopefully finally being able to close the book on the West thing and move forward with her life, leave this fucking douche nozzle in the dust, and start dating dudes in your bracket, which is so much higher than the guys in this house. You could date anybody, literally. Go find
anybody you want.
Super coolest guy that's super rich and super nice and super caring with a gigantic dick, and go get that guy. He's out there somewhere waiting for you.
Oh, God. I'm sure we have like 1,000 questions.
Yeah,
so.
it's going to take a sec.
I love this one from Weinstein.page. Just why? Yeah. Why is the only question. I love that.
Yep.
Oh, God. Oh, this is actually really fun. We can play a game with this one. From L Castle 99. If you could give West a non-violent punishment, what would it be? Definitely wet socks for the rest of his life.
That's a good one.
Stub your toe on every corner.
Have the feeling that you're about to sneeze for an entire year, but you never sneeze.
Yeah. Your pillow is always either too hot or too cold, and you can do nothing about it. No, it's never too cold, actually. Fuck that. It's always too hot.
Rocks in your shoes all the time.
Yeah.
Always a rock in your shoe.
About that.
Yep.
Your pasta is always overcooked, no matter what.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
Your breath always smells like garlic.
That's a good one. My phone just freaked. We had so many questions. My phone was loading them, and it just crapped out.
It just died. All right. Well, I'll get into it. Your every time that you have sex, your condom falls off.
That's funny.
I'm just kind of spitballing now. I didn't realize how many of these I had loaded in my brain. But yeah, I'll end at that one. Yeah, it looks like everybody else is clocking it from Josie Thebear. Did we notice that when Ciara said West only sits on people that he likes and then proceeds to sit on Amanda? Yep. This is an interesting question from Annika Green. Can Bravo please combine the best people from Summer House and Martha's Vineyard for next season? That could be a good answer. It's a
I'd
good
be into
wrinkle.
that. I
Yeah.
would be into that, actually. Yeah, I loved a lot of the cast on Martha's Vineyard. I still think they should have got another season, but if you can incorporate them into this somehow, especially after all the shenanigans that are afoot, you can probably
Yeah.
figure out a way. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. This is funny from Georgia Fuller. Did anyone else catch how much West wants to avoid showering?
Yeah,
I love
right.
that people are picking up on shit like that now.
Yeah, I saw somebody in here said West is a smelly dick.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's another one. Bree Polo. How gross was West asking if anyone else was not showering? He just looks stinky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of these are just statements about the balls West has to be making out with a girl next to Ciara.
Yeah, dude. This is an interesting one from Sarah Neves. Do you think West resents Ciara? I think he's furious because she got everyone to hate him. Is this like does
Yeah,
he
it
have
could be.
resentment towards her? Yeah,
I mean, I think we saw some of that resentment here. And I feel like because people took the stance that what he did was wrong, probably did make him resent Ciara more.
yeah. Oh, see, yeah. Arlo and Blue. Why did Amanda make those weird comments about Ben and his wiener? I don't know.
Don't know.
And I feel like that's been glossed over amidst all the
Yeah.
craziness. That's fucking weird.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. From Tara Sec. Did you hear the rumor that Bravo had started talks of a Summer House Ozarks with West at the center? We did so my theory on it, and it's not confirmed or anything, but they were talking about doing that. It would make sense because you can just put Amanda and West over in the fucking Ozarks. People will still watch that just because it's Bravo and they'll figure it out. But it also does kind of fix it pretty quickly. Like, all right, Amanda, actually, you don't want to be on Bravo anymore because of your mental health. Fine, go away. West, you can't be in that house because they might actually kill you. You go to the Ozarks and we'll see how that goes. That kind of makes sense. I don't know if they're going to do that, though. I do think because Martha's Vineyard seems like it's never coming back and they do want to try to get another show like that, they might try to do something along those lines. But I mean, using West as a marketing tool to get another show on doesn't make a ton of sense.
I can guarantee you he will be on our screens in some capacity next year.
Yeah,
Guarantee, because Bravo's salivating, figure out how to try to capitalize on all of this,
Mm-hmm.
which might honestly, that's probably where the Ozark spinoff came from. It
Yeah.
probably wasn't even in the works till all this shit went down and they went, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, there's something here.
Yeah. From Megano, it feels like Jesse's more locked into West's behavior than we all thought. Yeah, I mean, again, it doesn't really matter how he got there. He is very on point when it comes to West's behavior.
Mm-hmm. Number one guy in the group. Yeah, here, Ali Bach. Why is West touching Bailey like that? I don't know. I think it's to throw a smoke screen.
Yeah,
or he's just like a creepy.
he may just be a creep.
Dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he is a creep, so it's all making sense.
definitely.
Oh, this is good.
Oh.
You go ahead. You go first.
No, I didn't have one. I was gonna make a statement, but go ahead.
And Brackman man has been having a streak. A lot of good questions lately. What was the ickiest moment for each of you? Ickiest in the episode?
Him sitting on Amanda.
I think mine has to be the convo at the end with the watch my ass when you walk away.
Oh, yeah. Watch my ass is definitely the ickiest. Yeah, it definitely is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It's not West has a smelly dick. It's West is a smelly dick.
Same thing.
That was Sarah D. Twillet says, would either of you like a friend touching your wife like West touched Amanda? No, I would punch him in the mouth. Like, absolutely not. I wouldn't have to. Dev can handle herself, but I would be fucking livid and get away from my wife.
Yeah. I'm going to try to find one more good one in here. Oh, yeah. I guess we're probably going to get into this at the reunion for where it started, how it started. But K Sparkle K, is there a world where we can believe that Amanda pursued West? This episode has me thinking. I honestly hadn't really thought about who pursued who at all because it's just been so icky. Now that we're thinking about it and watching it back, I think Amanda pursued West. I absolutely do. And West was like, yeah, sure, come on in. I do think that she probably did that after everything cleared up with Kyle and everything was very obvious. I think she was probably like, hey, West, what are you doing? Like sending the text messages, going out with him, and then probably did.
I could definitely see it. I think
Could go
it
either
went,
way.
yeah, I think it went somewhat mutual. I think West was putting out feelers like he always does. And I think that one time, either in person or in a text message, he put a feeler out there like a little bit flirty, and she came back stronger than she had before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Yeah.
leaned further in, and then I think it was probably mutual debauchery, but I could
Yeah.
see it. I could see either way. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Agreed.
I need to go shower after this. So it's just gross. What a fucking slime ball, dude. Like it's just
Yeah.
slimy. Like you're just fucking burning everybody around you. Like those kinds of people are the worst. Just
Yeah.
take
That's
everybody out on your path.
nothing to do with the fact that it's like 89 degrees in April and humid as shit out.
That's that. Yeah, that too.
It's different. Yeah.
Mhm. Ugh,
Global warming.
come on.
Get mad.
Oh my God. I don't believe global warming's a hoax, just for the record. I don't ever want anyone to think that I'm like a flat earther or anything. But yeah, I don't know, guys. As per usual, we will keep our ear to the ground. And if we hear something come up, we will address it. We will make sure you guys are in the know. I don't know. I don't know what to expect the rest of the season. I feel gross.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
That's our show. Brow Bros are out of here.